We're all seeing these really horrible, horrible images coming out of Ukraine, what the Russian troops have done to these Ukrainian men, women, and children, and these residential areas, these hospitals, these schools. Here's a question from Kenny Freed. Is the U.S. doing anything to broadcast these horrible images we are seeing today to the people of Russia? As you know, Russian state television, they're not showing this.
It's a great question. As Russia has further, it was already a pretty controlled information environment in Russia, not many independent news outlets, some censoring of what people were able to see. But with the advent of this war, Putin has shut the country down to a degree that you really didn't even see there during Soviet times. But U.S. social media companies out, independent Russian broadcasters and newspapers shut down. So you've really reduced the ability uh, of Russians to see non-spoon-fed, right, state-run propaganda. Now there are ways you hear people who have VPNs, for instance, that can get around that. I've talked to people who speak to people inside Russia who are doing that, but that seems to be a smaller portion of the population. So I've asked this question of folks on the air: Are we re-entering like a radio-free Europe, kind of era where the U.S. would broadcast by radio or other means to try to get to people's eyes and ears in Russia? And it's an open policy question. It's obviously a different environment than, you know, a lot of people had radios and actually listened to radios. Now you have the internet, you have satellite television, but you also have greater ability of authoritarian regimes to block that, to filter what comes through on the internet. And Putin, like China, China has the great firewall, as they call it. Putin more and more wants to build his own kind of insulated internet. But I do know that it's something that the U.S. government is looking at. Um, but with the state of technology today, probably gives you more opportunities to get to people, but it also gives the authoritarians more ways to block that kind of stuff.